Today, on Starfield Essentials, I preview an extensive new creation by one of my favorite quest modders. This is Redgrave by the Milk Artist. It will be available soon for 600 credits on creations, and by the time you see this video, it may already be public. I'll give an overview, warnings, my conclusion, and bonus gameplay spoilers. My name is Richard. Let's get started. Overview. Redgrave is an achievement-friendly creation, if that worries you. I last reviewed a creation by the Milk Artist in December 2025. That was Codos Crater, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The Milk Artist tends to look for hooks into the main Starfield lore and expand upon them. The primary goal of Redgrave is to help a struggling list colony address several challenges. In the process, the player discovers a bigger story with a sizable reward. This creation offers the following: a new list colony that changes over time, 10 quests with around 1,000 lines of dialogue, 3 new custom melee weapons, 1 new outfit, 5 new planet-bound POIs, a new planet-bound faction, an optional customizable player home, and a repeatable side activity. Redgrave has all the hallmarks of a great Milk Artist creation. First, the voice acting is outstanding. If you've played a previous creation by this modder, you may recognize many of the voices. Second, the characters have extensive dialogue options. You can choose to blast through the interactions or ask every question and get interesting responses. Third, there are so many innovative design elements in this creation. Basically, the Milk Artist tries to find ways beyond fighting to challenge the player. It's difficult for me to explain without showing examples, so I'll include a few in the spoiler section. I liked how this creation started on Neon. I ran the creation with a few Neon mods that I've profiled in previous videos. These included Dark Side of Neon, Neon Signage Variety and Neon Announcements in Japanese, and Disciples Overhaul. By running these mods with Redgrave, I encountered more resistance when trying to accomplish certain tasks on Neon. After starting the creation on Neon, I embarked on a series of quests to recruit potential colonists. Each of these colonists had a very particular set of skills. I had to convince each to join the colony.
No visitors. Clinic's full. You'll have to bleed somewhere else.
Christine? It's me. It's Elira.
Elira? You're alive? Stars. What are you doing in Neon so soon?
Looking for you! List finally approved our charter. We need you there.
Thankfully, rather than just completing a conversation or winning a persuasion check, I had to accomplish a task. These were of different varieties and complexities, but none were onerous. The creation is not entirely linear, meaning the player has some flexibility in how they can accomplish these tasks. I also liked how the creation required the player to visit other parts of the Starfield universe to accomplish tasks. For example, one quest asked the player to visit the clinic in the Narion system.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ruth Keenan. Are you visiting a patient, or was there something else you needed? Let's have a look at your mystery microbe. Huh. That's not a pathogen I've seen before. It's almost biological, but not quite.
The tasks associated with this quest produce an ongoing activity, which can continue after the player finishes the creation.
Yeah. Look, as interesting as our little town is, I needed some adventure, and since I'm overseeing the comms situation, this just seemed like a perfect opportunity. There's a trail over there. Goes through the jungle. Shall we?
The POI design for this creation was excellent. This praise applies to both exterior and interior locations. There is some reuse, particularly regarding a ship last seen in the Crimson Fleet quest. However, the Milk Artist has so heavily modified it that it seems like a totally new and much more hazardous location. Next, warnings. I didn't have any technical issues with this creation, beyond an instance of the conversation overlap issue that I recently encountered with Watchtower. I'm not sure what causes this. but one way I found to mitigate it involved setting these values in my Starfield Engine Fixes custom.ini file. Starfield Engine Fixes is only for PC, but I doubt Xbox players will have the issue. Conclusion: is this creation worth 600 credits? It took me about 5 hours to complete the creation, not including any repeatable activities. I really liked how this creation allowed me to help a list colony grow while addressing a bigger story on the planet Bolivar 1. There aren't any new NPCs to take with you, and this isn't the sort of creation you play to get wild new loot. If you do want a fun set of quests that offer a satisfying and lore-friendly experience, then Redgrave is definitely for you. Thank you, the Milk Artist, for your work. In full disclosure, the Milk Artist provided a review copy of this creation for free. I ended up doing some troubleshooting for the creation, so I think I might get a quality assurance credit. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There's no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage and to buy creations to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for a positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis, or at least I try to. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word list. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.
Hold up. This place.
Next, we will have some bonus gameplay footage. These are all spoilers. The first one takes place near Jupiter, around an asteroid called 1404 Ajax. And the interesting thing about this, the Milk Artist wanted me to point out, is that 1404 Ajax is a real asteroid. Now, when I warped into the area, or I grav-drived into the area, I had to fight a ship. I don't know if that was part of the creation. It might have been just a random encounter. But this is what is so cool about this part of the creation, and why when you're getting this mission, the person who asks you to do the job says, don't bring a huge ship. So some of you who are playing these modded giant Class M ships, this is not going to work. So what you want to do is take a smaller ship, and I was able to use my standard Class C ship that I just built with essentially vanilla parts in order to accomplish this part of the mission. But what you have to do is you have to fly your ship inside the asteroid. So I'm going to show how I was able to do that. This is 1404 Ajax, and I realized that my engines were on all pips. So just nuzzling the throttle forward a little bit was not a great idea when I had full engine power. So in a second here, I will throttle back, and yeah, there we go. We're going into the asteroid now. In a moment here, I remember when I did this, I had to throttle back my engine so that I wasn't just blasting forward. Although there are times when you see a clear shot and you're able to go forward. And as I was going through, I saw obstacles or items. I'm not sure what they were, so I was able to blast those without causing any damage. But and it was a slightly, not confusing, but a little bit not clear where I should go. So there we go. I just pulled my engines back, so now I'm able to go forward. And going full throttle doesn't really do a whole lot when you're on such a small setting. So I won't show this all the way to the end, but this was one of my favorite parts of this creation, flying your ship into an asteroid. Now for my second spoiler. This really isn't a big spoiler. I probably could have used this in the main footage, but it's an example of some of the cool mechanics that the Milk Artist will introduce into their creations. This is a very simple one. It's draining the water out of a mine. Now, I like this because it's a task that I have to do to help the list colonist, but it doesn't involve fighting. And the visual and audio aspects of it are just cool. I mean, look at the water. It's going down after I hit the right switch to turn on the pump. And I think there's 3 of these switches. Then I'm going to go hit up the second one and drain some more water. So this is a good example of how the Milk Artist finds, yeah, see, the water's now disappeared from that level. This is a great example of how the Milk Artist combines these cool mechanics with tasks that the character has to accomplish, and I don't have to take out targets, I don't have to loot them to steal a key or something. I have to go into an area, and I did have to clear some brain squids or whatever, but I really think that this is cool. Now for my third example, this one is really neat. It's a little bit immersion breaking. I don't worry about that too much because my companions don't have their helmets on. But in this task, you have to repair a satellite. And this was a little bit challenging. I don't know if it's built into the mod that way, but it was really cool flying around outside and fixing this satellite. I'm just going to show a tiny bit of this one, but this is great. This is another one of those innovative mechanics that the Milk Artist introduced into the mod. Okay, my fourth preview. This was so clever. And I don't know if this is some kind of mod weird thing that I have, those buckets that fly out. Maybe they were already there. I don't know. This is a race that you have to compete in order to attract one of the colonists to Redgrave. This is so cool. I think you're supposed to do this using the Rev 8 or something. I did it using my S47 speeder, so maybe I cheated a little bit. I don't know. Again, I'm only going to show a tiny bit of this, but this is so fun that the Milk Artist added this to the creation. So you're definitely going to enjoy this one. Look at that. Go, go, go. My last spoiler involves a mission back on Neon. And for this mission, you've been tasked by one of the prospective colonists to delete a record from a database. And this record is protected in a server room. So I'm going to show you what that server room looks like. We're running into the facility. There we are. I love how this adds to Neon as well. So we have a door here that we have to jump down. And if you have a keen eye, you'll see that there's a laser spinning. And I quickly realized it was too late. I had already tripped the laser, and now I'm getting fired upon. So this is another example of the great content in this creation. All right, see you in the Starfield.